So I'm here with Oliver Faze, huh?
Yes. The one and only.
The one and only. Let's get in the thick of it. Let's just talk and hang. And I haven't seen you in over a year?
Over a year. At least over a year. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I was trying to remember how I met you exactly. Was it like Twitter? I couldn't remember.
I believe it had to have been through Twitter.
Okay.
And I want to say it was through Brother Love.
It could have been. No, wait. Because you introduced me to him.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yes.
Yeah. You connected me to him, which I love him, by the way. So thank you.
No, yes, of course. I love him. I don't know then. I know it was on Twitter.
Okay. Well, I probably saw this hottie and I was like, hey.
That actually does sound like you. Yeah, maybe that was it. But maybe because us Vegas people, we normally we kind of reach out to one another, like,
right.
And you're here. So, I mean, maybe that was, I don't know, friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. I think that's probably had to have been what it was.
I think so, because I was trying to figure that out this morning and I was like, I don't really remember. I just know that we did. And like, here we are.
Yeah. But no, that's funny about Brother Love.
Yeah. I just remember I'd seen you and you were like, you know what? There's somebody that you should work with. And so you connected us.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's perfect.
And yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, I'm curious about something.
Yeah.
Because when I met you, I know you were in a relationship, but it was somebody who was not in the industry. So just for clarification, for anybody who doesn't know anyone who's listening, well, the industry we're talking about is the adult industry.
Right.
And so I know you have a whole backstory. So I want to kind of touch on that first. But let me get to that. You had a relationship, but she wasn't in the industry, and it was really challenging for her. And I remember you were pretty brokenhearted about that for a little while, right? And then
right.
And then you move on, and then you were seeing somebody else. But was that industry? She was in the industry or something? I don't remember.
No. So the girl that was not what we call civvies.
Yes, the normies.
It was challenging for both of us, not just her.
Okay.
And after that ended, it hurt bad.
Yeah.
So I wasn't trying to find someone until my recent person, which I am married to now. So
I love
which
it.
is great.
I love it.
Yeah.
So that's what I was. Okay. The reason I brought up the other one first is because dating in the adult industry can be very difficult.
Yeah.
It is.
It can. Yeah.
And so it's like, I think dating, first of all, let's just back up. Dating in general just is hard in 2024, 2025. Whenever time you're listening to this, it gets harder every year.
Right, yeah.
And so then you add this element of your work is sex work. So that makes it hard for anybody. And then both directions, like you said. So how did this happen where your wife now, is she in the industry now, or she's not?
No, she's actually about to be getting out of the Air Force.
Oh.
Yeah. And so they're helping her she wants to help animals, so like be a vet.
Okay.
So whenever she gets out, yeah. So
I have a Frenchie. I'll probably need a lot of help.
It's great. She's so caring. She's so great. I love her to death. She's very understanding. Communication is key. It really is, especially for what we do.
Yeah. Well, because you retired for a while, right?
Right. I took a year and some change off. Yeah.
Okay. So why did you decide to take a break? And then why did you come back?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like deeply curious.
Yeah, I know, it's fine. So I took a break because I was filming so much. I was filming here in Vegas 4 days a week for a year and a half, 2 years. And I was actively trying to find someone. And like, after I was with my ex, like, it was just like too much. Like, I didn't know what intimacy was. I didn't want to be touched. I didn't want to touch anyone. My testosterone levels dropped. Like, I felt like fatigued. It was awful. I wasn't eating a lot. I wouldn't say it got to a point of a depression, but I'm a happy-go-lucky person, and I can tell you when something's wrong. So I just kind of took a step back from it. And before I even got into the adult film industry, I always was like in sales. So I went and sold timeshare, which I love sales, so it was fun.
Yeah.
But fast forwarding and through all this, I had found, my lady now, right? And it just seemed to be an organic feeling. It was never. It just made sense how everything has happened with us, to where, and it was different than sometimes whenever, like, for instance, when you were like use a dating site or try to find someone and you open up, and then as soon as you drop that bombshell of what you do for a living, it can go great at first, but then it doesn't. It'll always just go sour. So for her to be so strong and, to be there for me and ask me how my day is and, if there's anything she can do or whatever, it's, she cares. It's the same way as I ask her questions, how was her day and such. But yeah, she's great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love it.
But no, that's getting back into the industry. I was tired of selling timeshare. But I had also left myself branded accordingly. For instance, like, I never traveled to do professional shoots, but I branded myself here in Vegas accordingly. So like now a lot of the girls in Vegas do know, like, oh, he's a reliable dick. I can call him up if we need him or something. But not only that, it's, taking a step back and seeing how much I was working and like how much of like energy I'm taking from someone else. Like when you go on set, like you're meeting someone for the first time and you're having to be, as sexual as one can or has to be, to get through the scene. But this time not, only wanting to shoot like 6 a month or something, taking a step back and like really not losing the feeling of what it is to be intimate with someone, which my wife does an amazing job at it. So that's not a problem. But it was more so like I had branded myself accordingly to where I can set myself up now. So like I've relaunched like all my sites, like they're doing amazing. Just not rebranding myself, but being more, I don't even know if it's the word's cautious, but more
Selective,
aware. Yeah.
maybe?
More selective, more aware, of, not getting tired of it. And, it's okay to not have to shoot and stuff or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah. I slowed down a lot this last year just because I felt like, well, there was a lot of reasons, but one of the big ones was when you do a lot of trade, right? And then you have other people who have the content and then maybe they release it before you do. And then you end up not really making that much money off of it because it's already out there. Like that was happening a lot. And I think I had a moment where kind of a last straw where I was supposed to do a trade scene with somebody and I wanted to hire somebody to hold camera. And he was like, oh, I don't like to hire people for that. I have a guy. It's like, okay. I said, you're kind of new. I'm just going to let you know now. Sometimes it's worth paying a camera person so that you don't have a third person who owns your content. He didn't want to do it. So I was like, oh, okay. I've learned better now. I've learned to trust myself a little bit more. So anyway, I'm like, all right, I go along with it. It turns out to be a producer. I know the guy. But now they end up, after all this happens, they end up having problems with each other. They end up having beef. And so now they're trying to race each other to market on the scene that didn't even fucking belong to that guy. And I'm like, hello, this was my scene. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
And after like having to argue with a producer and trying to like finesse talent to try and make sure we're all on the same page. And, cause that scene was a really, really good one for me. And I knew it was going to sell really well. And I didn't want them ruining that for me.
Right.
So that was kind of to me the last moment where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to work with the guys that I know are solid, who are professional. They do the job. There's a level of professionalism that I want to deal with. And that kind of a mess it doesn't fit in that category. I'm not trying to do all that. So I slowed way down this year But I haven't stopped. I'm still around. I'm going to Exotica. I'm doing, I'm showing up. But I've just, the process of filming, I'm like, maybe I'll test this month. Maybe I won't.
Hey, that's super nice that you have that, though, because your fan base is so loyal. I love your fan base so much.
Really?
I really, truly do. They're great. They really are. You have a solid fan base that follows you. So even if you slowed up, I've not noticed. I haven't.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I haven't noticed any of it. And like going back to like doing trades and such, when I was doing the year 2 year stint, shooting all that time, I never did collabs really, truthfully, because I was shooting so much on mainstream that I was only really focused on that. And then the days I didn't shoot, I didn't want to be touched. So
right.
like I wanted to wait because I'd have
that.
scenes the next day. So, and then even at that, I didn't I didn't collab unless I shot with you on a mainstream. So I didn't even reach out to people really.
So how did I get in there?
It had to have been someone in Vegas. It had to have been. I know it had to have been.
Huh. That's interesting. Now that I think, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because we never worked on a mainstream set.
Right.
Huh. I have done like some extra work for some, I think, wasn't it Team Skeet? You did a lot of stuff for them.
I have to do a lot, yeah.
Yeah. I think because you introduced me to Brother Love and he directs, so he ended up pulling me in as an extra a couple times. That was fun.
I want to go back and see if there's messages, how it was. I can't remember.
The message. I know. Yeah, we should go back through our Twitter and figure it out. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not sure. But I remember you telling me, so when we were first getting to know each other, before industry, before you got married, before all the things, I'm curious, you were on a TV show.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. When I first graduated college.
Okay.
I wanted to go into the Air Force. I wanted to be a pilot. And
okay, I'm seeing something in common with your wife there, right there.
At the same time.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. I didn't think of that. Yeah, I wanted to be a pilot, and at the same time, I was going through the process of getting on Dating Naked on VH1 for season 2.
Okay.
And I'd, coming from West Virginia, like it's not a common thing that, I'm going to go on this show. But, all through college, I was doing nude erotic modeling. So I was comfortable already in front of a camera naked.
How did that happen? How does one go from being in school, normal guy, to being a nude model? I mean, first of all, I've seen you, so I understand it makes sense.
Hasn't seen me, no. No, but it's so I was basically a couple of me and my college buddies, we were found really over Facebook. He started doing hair and clothing ads for a company called Nico.
Okay.
Back in West Virginia.
Okay.
Shout out Nick Romanoli. Love you. I owe it to him. He saw a look in me that was different. And I liked the idea of making money off of myself as opposed to a brand. So if I can be, in that coffee table book, right? And I'm naked, but I get paid for that. That's amazing. I wasn't Nico. I wasn't Nike. I wasn't, something like that. It was myself. It was genuine, myself. Mm-hmm. And I loved that. So after I graduated, I was like, well, I'm going to get on this show. And like, coming from West Virginia, everyone's like, no, you're not. Like,
right.
Come on. About 8 months, it was like an 8-month process of going through, like sending stuff back and forth, like doing videos, Skypes,
really?
Getting naked on someone I'd never met. It was a long process, but they finally, cause my parents were like, listen, what are you doing? Like, cause they were not on board with it. Like my family was not on board with it.
Of course not.
And then once I finally got on, it changed. It did. My family was like, okay, this is pretty credible source of like, you're working for. But when you were on set, there was like, 40, 50 people. That let me know I wanted to go into the adult film industry way back then. I just wanted to brand myself accordingly.
So you were thinking about branding way before you ever got into the industry. Okay, because you were doing it with modeling.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess I had the mentality of it of overseas, you know, like in Europe and stuff. Like nudity is really not viewed the same as here in the States. So I mean, being so open and free and like happy-go-lucky, it pays off and shows.
Yeah.
And I'm personable, right?
Yeah.
So like, all the doors just seem to like start aligning.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm curious about something though. Like, how is it that you have always been so comfortable being naked or being around people? Because I know there's a lot of people who are very self-conscious of their bodies and they're really not comfortable. Like, is there any kind of advice or anything that you, like, what would you say to somebody who's trying to feel more comfortable in their own skin?
That's so hard.
I know. I think about that sometimes. I'm like,
I don't know. You just gotta be really true to yourself. I've never, so in like high school, sure, yeah, I got picked on, right? Like being small or whatever, you know. But I think it just made me love myself more, in not a conceited way, or like just being confident within yourself. You're gonna have people that love you. You're gonna have people that love you. And then you're gonna have people that don't like you, that hate you. Mm-hmm. Both are fine. And both will come and go. You may change some of them. You may not. You know, if I'm not for you, you're not my audience. And that's okay. Right?
yeah.
And then like being confident within like what you have. You know, sure you can change some things with plastic surgery and such, but like, you know, for the most part, we're all the same, pretty much. Some maybe smaller, taller, bigger, anything really.
Well, one thing from doing massage for a gazillion years, a body is a body is a body. Like when a body's on a table, it's just another body.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people would be uncomfortable getting on a massage table. They're not dressed. They're just maybe a sheet covering them maybe. But
sounds hot.
it is. It's so funny though, because I have this like this switch in my head where I've got the therapeutic side. I've learned how to do the sensual side, but the crossover, I have to be in one mode or the other.
Yeah.
I do. It's so funny. I massaged talent the other day, a friend of mine in the industry, and the only time I've ever touched this man is to have sex. So to have him on my massage table and actually give him a real massage, I was like, this is new.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm digging my elbow into your shoulder blades. This is not my typical way of interacting with you, but okay. And I put myself in a special space in my head, and then I don't go there, which, you know, of course I could. He wouldn't care, but I was there to do a certain thing. Anyway, I digress. I come back to a body is a body,
yes.
You know,
and
and they all, especially in some situations, everybody kind of looks the same. I know that's hard to believe, and I know you're super fit, and, you know, again, the modeling and all the things, but you don't have to be a model to be comfortable in your body.
Yeah, people can be attracted to many things within people, you know.
Yeah.
I find everyone is beautiful in their own unique way, you know. Whatever makes up Miss Thickk, you know, that makes up you, that's beautiful. Whatever makes up me, that's beautiful. Like, even if you don't think so and you have flaws and such, did you notice? I mean, that's you noticing, but I mean, beauty's in the eye of the beholder anyways, so.
Yeah. Well, not always, but usually 99% of the time I edit my own scenes. And I think in the very beginning, it was a little bit hard because I'm seeing myself in all my glory, and I'm, you know, you see a lot. And I had to, at first I was like, oh my gosh, I don't really want to see myself. Like, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. But then as I got more into it, I was just like, this is actually, I love this. This looks great. So it's funny because I'm pretty close to being my heaviest ever. And I'm still just like, I'm happy. Like,
you look
I
great.
still look good.
Look great.
What?
I said that before we started.
Why, thank you.
Yes, of course. I mean, Yeah. I think one, self-image, and then especially for what we do, because, you know, you have people all over the world that can see you. I mean, it does take a strong person, right?
Yeah. I think it does, because
Yeah.
you're really, there's a vulnerability. This is one thing I wish sex workers would get more credit, and especially performers. We are so willing to be vulnerable and put ourselves out there, where most people not only judge us for that, but they have a full fuck ton of shit that they're hiding most times.
Yeah.
That they don't want anybody to know. And they have all kinds of shame or whatever around. But we're on full display.
Yeah.
You know? In all
Yeah.
the ways. So I feel like I wish sex workers got a little more credit for that in general, just because we are willing to be out there and
Yeah, for sure.
be vulnerable. And it takes a lot of courage to do that, in my opinion.
Yeah. I always got to remember to filter myself, which I do a great job at it. I do a great job. Great job at it.
Filter? What do you do?
Oh, no. I mean, like, if you see like a post or something that you just made, I don't know. I like to be the devil's advocate and stuff. And that's
Okay.
probably with my sales background. I just like, you know, stirring the pot of shit. But I'm not going to give any examples, but I've come across many that, you know, you just want to throw your 2 cents in there, but you don't just keep scrolling or whatever. But that's with anything though, really. Just to see what you would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a little shit.
So you're a troll is what you're saying.
Not to that extent, no.
Oh, okay.
No. I have friends that are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you want to poke the bear a little bit.
Yeah, poking fine, but trolling too much.
Yeah.
For me anyways.
Yeah.
But some of my friends would say I troll. I don't know. Just depends. Maybe it depends on who you ask.
Yeah. That's funny. So do you, now you're working again though. So I was curious about this because, you know, I knew you had retired, and then I don't know, a year later, however long it was. And I heard from you, and I was surprised. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that you're coming back to shoot again. How does it work with your wife, and like what kind of arrangement or communication do you guys have with each other that made you decide to go ahead and come back to the industry?
Yeah, I would imagine it was 3-year, 5-year, 10-year goal of where I wanted to be. Well, I wanted us to be, right? So I knew getting back into it, I wanted to limit myself for all my scenes. So that made it more like, more of like wanted. Like, oh, he does like 4 scenes a month or something. Let's try to get him for the scene or whatever. So what is it? Scarcity, I think that's what it's called. Something. But then, you know, getting my platforms basically, well, they're already surpassing, but, you know, to make that residual income on all those other sites, right? So once I get to a point where, you know, those are making the amount of money that we have, agreed upon, right? Me and my wife. Then I'm gonna, you know, take a step back and get out of it. When we get our house, will be better. You know, we'll be able to film, rent it out, whatever we need to. It just made more sense, you know, the money wise, because I don't know if you know the timeshare business. It's not the biggest booming, right? You know,
I know there's a lot of businesses to get people out of their timeshares. I have seen a lot of that. I used to have a timeshare, so I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. If you got the money and you like to travel and you're gonna spend it anyways, go for it.
Right.
That let me know, like, I'm glad to be back too, because I work my own schedule. You know, I had to get up and, you know, go into work early in the morning, and then like basically a 9 to 5, right? It made me very grateful to be able to do what I do.
Yeah. When I heard back from you, or when I heard from you, I was just like, oh my God, I'm excited. I just told you, I haven't been working that much, so I haven't.
Yeah.
We're gonna shoot soon though.
Yeah. I'm excited. I have so many ideas. And it's nice, being able to see, you know, everyone that I hadn't seen forever. And I think I branded myself accordingly, and how people should, you know, approach scenes and collabs and trades and such.
How do you suggest? So, because you've mentioned that you've branded yourself accordingly. So, like, what would you suggest to a new creator or somebody who's maybe just starting out or needs to clean up what they've already started? But like, what would you suggest to somebody new who wants to have longevity in the adult industry, but that is not sure what to do to brand themselves?
I can only speak of how I got in the industry. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I've been told I've gotten lucky on how I got in the industry. So
haven't we all? I mean, I think
it's well, so I never came into it from like a content creator background or a trade background or anything. So I went from VH1 to romance book covers to adult film. And within that transition from that, the person who knew me before I even knew him was basically best friends with who found me when I was in college. So he had followed my work all the way through, and he was the one that introduced me to OC, Sandra, and she loved my look. And I had, pled my case. I only want to film in Vegas. Like, I don't need to travel on a male talent rate, right?
So to brand yourself, like, okay, so you got hired, so you started already kind of at a higher tier anyway, because these are paid shoots.
Right. Okay. Yes. So,
right,
right. Exactly. So with the paid shoots, it put my head in the business mindset of, like I said, I had only did collabs with people I was on mainstream, right? So I already had it embedded on how a shoot should go, a scene should go. And that's what I've always relayed to doing trade or collabs. Paperwork, photos, do's, don'ts, you talk about it, where the camera's going to be, how you're going to shoot it, and it should be 20, 30 minutes tops after done editing. Yeah, 20, yeah. It shouldn't be any more than that, in my eyes, unless you talk about it more, okay, we need to do this, and this, and this, and this, right?
Right.
If it's going longer than that, and this is just my own opinion, because I've just really done mainstream and then opening up to doing trades and collabing, it should go that way. It doesn't, unless you're wanting something else. You're
right.
wanting a little bit more pleasure than business, which is fine if you talk about it.
Right. Okay, so the shoots we've had have been really fun. And I will attest to having worked with you. I know exactly what you're talking about, because anytime we would have certain angles, like we would stop, we would check, like it was very on point in the whole way through. Even when there was a little acting involved. It's funny because some of my favorite outtakes are where we're trying to get the right angles. So it's like, I'm in a position and you're in a position and you're like, okay, I think. And so you're like doing this kind of thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so funny, where we're actually having sex, but we're talking about work like we're not in it at all. Shit's so funny. But then our very first scene was the massage scene. We did a sensual massage.
Yeah.
And because that's my background. And so those are always a little longer. And I know that was our first one. So I don't know if that was like different for you, but do you remember it went kind of off the rails in its own way? Do you remember how? Because I'm happy to remind you, because it was so funny to me.
Off the rails.
It went a little bit off the rails. We both, I gotta tell you.
Now I have to know. Refresh my mind.
First of all, it was a great scene. Like it's great.
Oh yeah, no, I remember the scene, but I don't remember what went off the rails.
So, I think you had another shoot later that day, right? And so we had a conversation about the pop shot, the cum shot, the money shot, whatever you want to call it, the finale. And so I think we'd had an agreement of how that was going to go down, and I think you were. I don't know if you had more time that day. I don't know. But you were trying to make sure that I got mine, right? You were trying to make sure I was satisfied. And so we took a break because we were, it was taking a lot of time. And you were like, what's it going to take? What's it going to take for you to be able to come? And I was just like, honestly, I have to stop thinking about the cameras. I have to stop thinking about working and angles and whatever, to just kind of be in my body, and then I'll be able to. So I didn't realize this, but you cut the camera because you were trying to make me more comfortable, right? So you get back on the massage table, you're lying down, I'm on top. And now we're just kind of going, so you're trying to make me more comfortable so I can get there. But now it's working. And I end up starting to come. So I end up having this huge orgasm off camera.
Yes, I remember this now. Then we got up because I finished on top. Then we hit record.
Well,
I'm pretty sure that's how it went.
you came because I was coming and it was so much that like it was too much for you to hold back. So you came, both of us off camera. And we were both like, no, we were both so upset that this magical moment was not captured on camera. And so we had to do it again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, we did it again. Okay,
we did it
that's
again.
right.
And that's when you came on me because we had to, but the thing is you had another shoot that night. So that means you came twice and you were really trying to hold it back because you had another shoot later in the day. You were going to have to go again.
I think it was a glory hole scene.
I remember I felt kind of bad because you were like, oh shit, like there's going to have to be 3 of these today. But we were both kind of like, fuck, we're supposed to be professionals. And this just happened off camera. How the fuck did that happen? But it was awesome. But how the fuck did that happen?
It sounds like I was being generous.
You were. Because like, how is this going to work out? I just didn't realize that you cut the camera. Or maybe I did. And I at some point I just was like, fuck it, I'm coming anyway. Like, I don't remember the specifics in the moment. I just know the camera was off. And then we were both like, damn it. And that was our first shoot. So it's amazing to me that we had more shoots after that because it kind of, there was more demand of you in that scene.
Yeah. Well, and with that, there was more dialogue and there was more like involved with it. Like the next scenes leading up, after that.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I think that was probably thinking about it, I think that was maybe like the first time I ever even had like a massage type like
I think it was
scene thing or anything. Because there's really no talking in those type of scenes really because it's supposed to be relaxing or whatever. That's funny. That is super funny.
I know, but I was like, okay, so you come from mainstream and I know better too. I've been, at that point had been doing it for a little while and it was just like,
I wonder why we cut the camera. Because I remember there were 2 cameras, right? One in front of us and then one like diagonal.
Mm-hmm. And they both.
I have no idea.
I think it was just, I don't think you meant to cut it like for the whole scene. I think you were just trying to help me relax a little bit. It wasn't supposed to be where we keep going and then. Oops.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
No, yeah. So, but at least, luckily for me, there were more scenes. Again, you gave me another chance because I just, that went off the rails.
You gave me another chance. Like we'll get this.
Yeah. Okay. So we did another one with like, you were like my roommate's boyfriend or something. I was something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. And what was it? I was trying. No. You were buying. I think you were buying boxers or something for
my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, try these on for me.
And then.
Yeah.
They looked better on me, I guess.
Oh yeah, and then I couldn't keep my hands off you.
Those were fun. We've had great scenes together.
Yeah. And then the Red Mojo couch. You did some like acrobatic shit
on
that.
That was fun. That was fun.
It was a great scene.
Yeah.
One of the things that was fun for me, because when I started, I was working with amateurs because I did come from the content creator side. And so the first like 3 months, I was trying to find guys to shoot with, but I didn't really know the protocol. So I'm like, okay, they have to wear a condom. You have to be able to perform wearing the condom. You have to be able to film while you're performing wearing the condom. Like, good luck. And it was really difficult to make all of those things align. And so I remember the first time I worked with a professional, I was like, this is night and day. This is a whole new experience. And at that point, I'm hooked, right? And so I know even after I'd been doing it for some time, I worked with you, and there were still moments where you would help me. And you know, talking to the audience here for a second, what that means to me is you helping me is the angles, because you can see where the camera is a little better than I can at times, depending on where my body's positioned. And so you're helping me open up. You're holding my arm a certain way. Like, you were making sure we were getting what we needed in the scene. So I appreciated that. I don't know if I ever told you that, but it was awesome.
No, it's, I feel like, and since I've done so many main, it's like second nature now, because it should be 50-50, you know, give and take, because we're both in it together to get through the scene. Mm-hmm. But after have done so many, I think it's just, I'm just so aware of where the camera is, so it makes it easier. I don't know. I don't know. It's like a second nature now.
Yeah. Well, and you've worked with a lot of really great producers.
Yeah. A ton of great people. I've never really had a bad experience.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, is that because sometimes you hear stories, you know, people think they think a lot of bad things, I think, about the adult industry in general. Yeah. And you hear a lot of, you know, the skeezy things are happening on set or whatnot. But you're saying no, like your experiences were all positive.
I had one bad experience, and that bad experience had to do with one certain director. And ultimately, that also played into a factor as to why I took a break.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was like the perfect storm of, hey,
whole bunch of stuff added into, let me just take a step back and just cool it.
Yeah. Kind of like mine with like that whole debacle. I'm like, you know what? This was a good time for me to just take a break.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think sometimes those are gifts. Those are moments where you're just like, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for the reminder.
Found my wife.
I love, okay, now I won't keep you too much longer, but I want to ask you, like, how did you meet? So you left the industry. So now, like, okay, your porn is behind you for the time being. Where did that come from? Where did you meet her?
So you know how like Facebook and stuff, you have like friends and friends and friends and friends of friends you don't even know that you're still friends with.
Like 10 people removed.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It was kind of like that. So you know how Netflix, if you were far apart or such, their terms, whatever, like you had to give them a code or like you were kicked off. Well, I was on my family's back in West Virginia.
Oh.
But they wouldn't give me they wouldn't give me whatever. Basically, they were saying, get your own. Is really what my family said. So I was like, okay.
Mom and dad kicked you out of the nest.
Pretty much. So I took to social media. I was like, hey, can someone give me their, you know, Disney Plus or, you know, Amazon Prime, whatever. And people would like it and laugh and like no one message. And then this one girl, she said, yeah, you can have mine. I was like, oh, okay. So she direct messaged me her username, password. I tried it. It fucking worked.
Wow.
It was her Disney Plus. And then a week later, I messaged her back and I said, do you want to come watch Disney? And that's how it was. We haven't been apart since.
What did you watch?
Ratatouille. I love that movie. That's a great movie.
I almost bought a Ratatouille sign to put in my kitchen. Like, that's funny.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
That's like the most wholesome story ever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So how did she take it when you told her what you do for work? Or what you did do for work at the time?
I guess she... I don't know. She's just really confident in herself. Really. I don't know. I don't know.
She was just kind of like, okay.
I don't know how to answer that. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it surprised her, but probably didn't freak her out either, obviously. A little.
No. I don't think.
I know you can't really speak for her, but I'm just curious what you observed from when you talked to her about it.
She was really just like, okay. She was never really like nothing bad. She didn't really like ask like in-depth questions or details. But you know, now it's I share my tests with her, every 14 days or even less than that. I have a scene today. It's here, it's shooting for this. I guess it's like the communication that we've always had is she never really saw it as anything other than this, he's going to work.
Yeah.
Because I don't bring work home, right?
Yeah.
And she doesn't either. So it's like, not out of sight, out of mind, but more so like
trust.
Yeah. You very, very transparent. That's the
yes. I was like, I don't know.
Very transparent.
Yeah. So I had tried dating somebody at one point who just he could never understand what I was talking about. And so he'd just be like, did you do something naughty today? And I was like, naughty? No, I went to work. Like what? It was just, it was a bizarre, he could never really understand.
Yeah.
And I can't fault people for that, but at the same time, it was frustrating. Like, what do you think that, like, it's a job?
It's even, I think so. Even before we got married, it still can play a factor within myself too, right? Because you can go on set and you're sitting there performing and it's not your significant other, right? Mm-hmm. So then, I'm not saying you'll get in your head, but you can get in your head about it, right? Of what you're doing, of what I'm doing, this is also affecting me, not just you. It's affecting both of us. I've been on sets many times of, I don't want to be here right now. I would rather be at home, but you're still performing, and it can be challenging for yourself. You're human.
Yeah.
I'm human.
Yeah. That makes me wonder then, because I know sometimes with sex, we can look at it as we can compartmentalize it. But are you saying it's still a little bit emotional for you? You feel like
sure.
You feel like you're cheating, maybe, or
no, not necessarily cheating. It's just the act of what you're doing isn't, and I'm not by any means traditional, right? But it's not the normal relationship type thing. But
right.
What is normal?
Right.
So if we make it work, then that sounds normal to me.
Right.
I
remember one time having a conversation with you, this was ages ago, but we were talking about how porn almost gave us an appreciation for intimacy in a different way. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that's still true?
Yeah. I feel like I can still connect with people and make content and I can make someone watching it feel good. Right? Mm-hmm. And that feels amazing to me. And I'll never meet you and I'll never know you. But I put a smile on your face, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's work.
Yeah. I think for me, it gave me another appreciation for the small things. Like holding hands feels really
Love
intimate.
Holding hands.
Yeah, right? And like cuddling and just the stuff that I think so many people take for granted. That I know for us, those things are huge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fun fact to all of you people out there. I love a kiss on the cheek. I love those. It's like randomly.
Really?
Yeah. That shit's my shit.
I love it. It's funny. Like maybe it's more with my kids. I kiss them on the nose.
Yeah.
I like to kiss them on the nose.
Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the mom part of me, I think. But, So where are things today? So now you're working, she's working, and then where can people find you? What's going on now?
Yeah, I just got done shooting with Pogged. I was so happy to finally work with them. I've been trying to work with them for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, just our schedules never really aligned. Scenes are starting to drop. They're so great.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. I'm grateful I got to work with them finally.
Oh yeah. Have you worked with Blush Erotica?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll plug you.
No, I don't think so.
They're awesome.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
What else? No, you can find me on Twitter, Oliver_Faze_. Minivids, Oliver Faze. OnlyFans, Oliver Faze. What was it? X-Vision Sheer, Oliver Faze.
And Faze is F-A-Z,
F-A-Z-E, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oliver F-A-Z-E.
I'll link everything too below.
All over her face.
Do you know it took me a year to figure that shit out? Do you know? I felt so retarded after that. I was like, I'm so dumb.
I'm
so
cracking
dumb.
up.
Yeah. It took me that long. And I was like, how did I not know this? Anyway.
Just being cheeky.
Yeah, clearly. I love it. Well, I mean, I'm glad we got to catch up finally.
Yes.
And then you came doing this with me. So I hope we can do it again.
Yes. Whenever.
Awesome.
Use and abuse.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you.